I'm in my car, and I want to talk about my UFO experience because UFOs is about to be exposed to the world. Ever since I was little, I always had experiences with extra shit. Like, you could ask my whole family. Like, when I was little, I couldn't even really stay at my mom's house sometimes because I'd be seeing stuff. Like, I had to move out with my papa, and I couldn't stay with him either because they followed me to my papa's house. And then I had to move my granny. They kind of followed me to my granny house, but it was more like it's like they kept running me around till I felt comfortable, if that makes sense. Like, they kept pushing me out of places and putting me in different places. It was just so weird. And so I was scared of the dark for a long time, till my sophomore year in college, probably. I couldn't sleep in the dark at all, because if I sleep in the dark, it's like I be seeing stuff, and people try to call me crazy. I used to be terrified, be crying, screaming, be like, no, it's right there, it's right there. I see this with my eyes. Like, I'm the only one seeing things. Like, my whole life, I'm the only person seeing stuff. And whatever I was looking at, it knew I wasn't really scared of it. I just didn't understand really what it was, or why it was choosing me. You know, why you just showing yourself to me, or showing you to me? Why can't you show yourself to other people? That's how I feel like, because people thinking I'm crazy the whole time. So as I got older, I was like, nah, this can't be something that's gonna harm me or hurt me, because if it was, it would have been did that by now. Like, I already been alive for 27 years, and whatever this extra stuff is, it ain't never hurt me. If anything, it's just been interested in me, or like protecting me, or just like, I don't know, making me see different things in a different way than most people. So I just been like kind of using that faith, they call that feeling, to guide my life. You know, even being in positions that I've been in, growing up all the time, always being the fucking best in the room, or the highest on the pedestals, or whatever you want to call it. I always been a superstar my whole life, and I'm still a superstar in this life. And probably not to the whole world, but to me, like, that's how confident, and like the strength, and like everything I've been through has made me to feel. You know, like, I ain't like most people. I don't need millions of dollars to be happy. I don't need mansions and shit. I don't need vacations every year and stuff like that to be happy and to be fulfilled in this life that I live. You know, I live to educate people, to understand people, to just, you know, just be the best I can be for the next. That's how I live my life, to inspire, to give people a hope. I don't know if they like those kind of characteristics or traits about people who, especially the ones who have been put in those positions, to really give over our physical to the almighty dollar. And I just never been that type of nigga to give over my physical for no money, because my mama always told me, if anything I want to do in this life, I want to do it with my own mind. And like, you know, I don't really want to work hard and use my body. I want to reserve this physical and reserve my mind for everlasting life, for like when I'm 70 and 80 years old, you know. So I always had that in the back of my mind when making tough decisions about, hey, is this really the route that I want to go for me? You know. And I feel like I always had extra help from something out there to like maybe give me a second chance, or as my granny would say, keep that ram in the bush, keep that option available for me, because they know my intentions. They like, this world knows that I can't cause no harm to nobody, even with my strong speech and the way that I speak, and how I've been, you know, training myself to be able to talk when I am on that big stage, or when it's time for me to really, you know, tell my story. And right now it's time for me to tell my story. These people coming out talking about UFOs and shit, I've been seeing this kind of stuff since I was a little girl. And I'm glad that people finally talking about this shit, because now I don't feel as weird. I know down to my toes, to the pinky toe, that there is a higher being in this world. It's been with me since I was little. Like I said, I ain't no rich person. I'm a poor person. Only thing I have is love, God, and my family, myself. That's the only thing that I have. I have cars and a car and stuff and material things and clothes and stuff. But overall, that really doesn't mean anything to me, because I'm going to be the same with or without these material things in this world. And I think they kind of attracted to people like me who could be strong regardless of the weather, because I could do that. Even if I vent or I flash out, it's not going to overtake me, because I know the bigger picture. You know, I know that this world is full of evil entities that train people's brains to do things they don't want to do all the time for the beneficial of the next person. You know, I understand that stuff. That's why I always been against that side, because you can't program me, you can't trick me, especially when I got extra things working for me to make sure your ass don't get me. It just ain't gonna work. So when I was working for AT&T, one of the major companies with, you know, cell phone telecommunications, I was stressed out. I was so stressed out. I was making great money too, y'all. Like, I'm talking about $5,000 a month, probably easy, great money. But I'm so stressed out. I'm like, oh, this ain't what I want to do. But I know that I'm converting a lot of things that I already tried to build myself on. I had pushed those things to the side because I'm working for this job. So I gotta pay a car note, I gotta pay rent, I gotta pay my food, I gotta pay for my gas, I gotta pay for my living. You know, I'm far away from home, I don't have no friends. You know, that was a big leap of faith in my life. Like, a lot of people's like, Lulu, you sure you wanna go? Lulu, you sure you wanna move all this way? And I'm like, yes, because that's how I move. Lulu don't really move on opportunities or move because of other people. Lulu move because of love, and Lulu's heart. So I moved to Indiana because of love. Not because of an opportunity, but because that's just how I move. I move off of love and feelings and stuff like that. You know, some people say that's bad, but to me it feels great, because at the end of the day, I always do what I want to do. It's mine. It's my feelings. You can't take my feelings away from me. And I value their feelings the most. So, moved up there. Like I said, I'm going through so much because of my heart, because of love, because of faith. You know, growing as a young woman, like I said, encountering all these different things in life, and really not even knowing how to express myself, to talk about it to people, where I don't feel like little about myself coming to you with my problems, because I know how I am. People say I'm tough and I'm mean, I'm hard. That might be true, but just imagine how hard I am on myself. If I made you cry one time, I probably made myself cry a million times. Like, for real. Like, that's just how my mind is. And I am getting better to be more considerate of other people's feelings, and understanding that everybody don't think like me. And I'm just a growing individual, like I said. And like I said, this faith journey has been so good to me. Everybody, a lot of people who I've encountered in my life too, I be teaching them about God and about these extra forces in the world, the universe, you know, because that's what God is, and Jesus and all that good stuff. You know, the titles we like to give, but God is the universe. God is love, and that's how I was trained and raised since I was a little kid, and even sometimes not even getting all the love and affection I want from home, and just, you know, getting it from other people in this world and stuff. That's why I know that's the ultimate key to success. Love, God, and that little stuff. You know, it's not about how fat people's bank accounts is at all. At all. Because the people sometimes be having the most money and stuff, they be the most wickedest, most depressed, and all that stuff, you know, all those extra burdens that come with it. But anyway, back to this faith one. I'm in Indiana, and like I said, I'm stressing myself out. I'm trying to really convert to these AT&T people's system. I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. This is what I gotta do. You know, I got people in my family talking about, oh, you got a good job. People just so proud. Oh, you doing good. And I'm really like, nah, I'm really not doing good. My mental is fucking fried. My mental is fried for dealing with these people and their problems every day. And then the way the system's set up, the system is set up to make you people fucking crazy over your phone bills and your internet bills and your cable bills. And it's like they're beating you up, right? First mentally dropping these high ass bills on you. They like, whoa. So you like, dang, they beating you up, and then you converting because you're like, fuck, this is not my only option. So they get you. When you think this is your only option, you are got. And that's how the system works, you know. And these extra things out here in this world have showed me that that is not how this way of life goes. Meaning we don't have to convert. We don't have to do things we don't want to do. We don't have to go stress ourselves out and go to these jobs for 20 years that we don't even fucking like because we're worried about the bills being paid at home. You know, like, people will say, that sounds crazy. Well, how are you going to pay your bills if you don't work? Well, you could be an entrepreneur. You could go to your bed, go open your Bible, and you could fall to your knees and you could cry and plead to God and ask God, God, can you tap something out of me? Can you bring something out of me that I don't even know that's in me? I need to make a way. And you got to come with a pure heart. God will make that way for you. And you will be wondering, like, wow, how did all of this happen in my life? Even me, like I said, of course kids got big dreams, but when you start to see things clear and see that everything ain't what it's cracked up to be, you start to be more confident in yourself, and you start to value those little things more in life. And like I said, I'm in this new world in Indiana. Like I said, I'm just doing all this stuff, and I'm valuing all these new little things in life that I never really seen because I was so distracted. And this thing, you know, I had a freaking experience that I got. Like, they took me out of my bed. Like, they been taking me out of my bed since I was little, you know, but I really couldn't tell nobody. Like, they're so good, these different things in this world. They'll come, you can walk through walls with them. They'll come zap on you, touch you or something, turn your ass invisible. You know, you be sleeping a spell. You thinking like, woo, how am I seeing everything around me? Like, what's going on? Like, for real, like, real nightmares that could scare your ass and be like pleading and begging to God for them never to come back. Because that's what happened to a lot of us. We plead and we beg God for them things, whatever that was. God, please don't let me go through that no more. So when you plead and you beg God, please don't let me go through that no more, you already closed off that extra, like, tunnel of sight for yourself. Because you were so scared. And you can't really live in fear even when you sleep. You know, I done had dreams where I called out to my grandma, like, because I've been so scared. But I ain't never say, don't let that happen to me again. Because I feel like that happened for a reason. Every time where I was like, couldn't see, or was like really just like, woo, stressed out, it's like God always made a way for me. And even like when I was in Indiana, I was stressed out because I was going through something so hard. I was talking to this girl, and I was debating. I was like, oh, I need to just cut her out. She ain't bringing no good to me, no good at all. So I had like this dream, and I went away or something, and I just took that as a sign to cut her ass off, because it was like that separation, you know. But anyways, when I went up there to the level, like when they elevated me, or level, whatever that proper word is, you know, I should ascended into the skies. I also went beneath the earth. Like, I went on the fucking ground. I went underground. And when I was underground, and this was all around the time too, Black Girl, my song Black Girl on YouTube, it had got like 1,000 views in a day. This shit was wicked. Like, I didn't even know how that happened. I know I just promoting and stuff, but, and like I said, that night I went to sleep, and they came and got me, and they took me on the ground. It was like some big ass lizard looking people. Like, them people was so fucking tall and big. They were like 10 feet tall, and I'm looking at them, and they was just, they didn't even say nothing. They don't even, I don't even know that if they knew English. They were just like, they're looking at me like, and I'm looking at them too, like. And they was like, you go in that door. You can pick that door. Go in that door right there. Go in that door. I said, hell no. I ain't going in nobody's doors. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just like, no, I'm good. I ain't going through no doors. If they wasn't going through the doors with me, I was not going through no doors. But they trying to tell me just to go through the doors. I said, nah. Oh, I'm good. We could just keep walking through these halls on this tour. I'm good. And like I said, they wasn't talking. They just like pulling me like, oh. I'm like, And so then next thing you know, boom, I had zapped. And I went to a place that was just light. It was so much light. Like, I just left from the dark world, y'all. It was like a dungeon or some shit on the ground. Like rocks, big ass brown shit, lizard people. And then I went up above or something. I zapped. Something came and got me, zapped me. And it was all light. And it was like those little bitty great people, like they say in the movies, like it was little bitty great things or something. And they were so nice, like they were so like like they were just looking at me like I was so weird, and so it was so pleasant to see me. Like it was just a better feeling. Like the feeling was just so much more welcoming. I didn't feel like I was in hell. Like before, I felt like I was in hell. Like I felt like the devil was trying to take my soul, or somebody was trying to take my soul by telling me to go in that door, and they was gonna close that shit on me. And see, my soul had left, and my soul was traveling, but my body physically was in my bed still. So even though that I probably wouldn't have died that night, but my soul would have been trapped somewhere else, and I probably would have got a lot of stuff. I don't know what would have happened in life for me if I would have walked through one of those doors and stuff, you know. But I just know I did it, you know. And yeah, when I went up above, or when I got to the light, it was like everyone, it was some other people up there too. It was a lot of us, for real. And it was like a movie, like it was like a sphere thing. It was like a circle, and we was walking around a circle, and it was like on the movie, like their fingers was on the windows and shit, like, and they had long fingers. Like I wasn't scared because it was so much light. I don't know, it's weird. And I saw somebody like in the room. It's like almost like they converted us back to children. It's like we was children. Like below, I was a grown up. Up above, or in the light, I was a child. And I saw a girl in there. I was like, I'm gonna have to go in there. And they was like, yo, you're gonna have to go in there. Like they could talk. They was like, yep, you're next. You ready? And I was like, sure, I'm ready. I don't know. It's just something about that feeling made me more willing to go inside and do what they say than when I was in the other world. And I said, yo, I'm gonna go in. So I went in the room, and they put me, it was like a table, like on the movies, I mean like on the videos with young boys and stuff, when they see like them in the incubators and like, you know, covered up in those big glass shit, like they get experiments run on them. That's what it kind of was that I was in. And then they say, no, whoop, they zapped me, whoop, oh shit, oh. And I woke up scared. The girl was next to me. I told her, wake up. I've been kidnapped. I was just kidnapped, man. And then cause it was like a big ass green right around my room, like coming through my windows. And I was like, I'm scared. But again, I'm scared, but I ain't never once say, don't come back. They understood that I was scared because, you know, whatever kidnapped me, because at the end of the day, shoot, they scared of us too. They just trying to know us, like we trying to understand what they are, and they gonna only get their point across or get how they really are through us, through people that they really have real interaction, real encounters with. And I'm one of those persons that has had real encounters with UFOs and extra things out there in that world. Like I really have, because one thing I firmly believe, God created the heavens and the earth. God created this universe, meaning that everything on this universe is God's creations. And when it's God's creation, I can't be scared of, or I can't be terrified of. And I feel like whatever it is, understand that about me. That's why I've been having these encounters since I was a little girl, because they know and trust and believe that I won't try to kill them. I won't try to turn them into the prison or jail. Like, you know, people, those white folks trying to run experiments all the time with the government experience, then try to lie to us and saying they never happened. Like, I ain't that type, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they have these encounters with me and show me different things. Like even for instance with the coronavirus and stuff, they done came out and said, because God been showing me the coronavirus, and I put it on Facebook and told people. They called me crazy, told me that what kind of drugs I was on, that they need those type of drugs. And next thing you know, like some months ago, the news came out and said that we had a cyber hack with Russia or somebody. We had a cyber hack. And it, you know, so cyber hack, meaning like internet stuff. So, hey, looks like I wasn't crazy. Looks like I wasn't tripping. Looks like something did come across my screen before George Floyd died, before all this stuff started happening with Black Lives Matter. I saw people in the streets going crazy. I saw people not knowing what to do when this stuff happened. I saw all the chaos, and I said it. We about to experience something in this world that people are not ready for. You know, people wasn't ready for Black Lives Matter to come in and storm like they did. A lot of black folks just rode the wave, not really understanding that that's the devil's work. My black life been mattering. My black life always gonna matter. And I don't need no group or no organization to confirm that for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all this is about is them collecting dollars, making money off of our struggles, our beatings, our burdens that we have to endure in this country. You know what I'm saying? And see those evil people. And evil ain't got no skin color. Evil is black, white, purple, Mexican, Chinese. I don't give a shit. Evil don't got no color. And see, I'm just coming here to tell my story, my side of my experiences with extra things in this world. And people gonna call me crazy, gonna be like, little on drugs, little this. I don't give a fuck what you say, because I know what I be experiencing and I know my life. And I know that half of this shit that I have been through, that a lot of you motherfuckers couldn't go through it. You know, you would have been thought about suicide and killing yourself and gave up. Because living by faith, living with God instead of with man, yeah, it's really a hard task. But I know that I'm covered. So I know that I could do this. I'll take my glasses off too, so you can see this beautiful face. Because I really mean this, what I'm saying. Like, from bettering my relationships with my family, even to some of my relationships with my family members going completely sour, not even really thinking about fixing them or restoring those relationships in my life, you know. And that's not being evil. It's just I don't have time for those things. I have to move forward. God wants me to move forward in my life and make peace with my past. And that's all I just be trying to do in this life. And just educate people and let people know that it's always going to be a brighter day. Because if you really believe in the good Lord, Jesus, God, whatever you want to call your higher power, if you believe, then you shall achieve. And you will see who's really in control. Because man ain't in control of none of this. And it's really gonna break a lot of people's heart, especially when they found out like they've been working for nothing, like they've been working for 20-30 years on these jobs for nothing, when the whole time you were the guilt, you were the bad, you were it, you know. And it's coming from a ex athlete. Everybody grows up and want to be athletes and rappers and stuff. And see, I'm really kind of like that rapper. I really call myself a civil rights activist and just a civil rights leader for this world. And civil rights mean of all races, all colors. Power to the people, like Fred Hampton would say. You know, I ain't no freaking racist. At first, I was mad at white people for a long time. I was thinking it was their fault a lot of the time. And it kind of is, but it's really not. It's our fault for not educating ourselves and getting on the right path. And the right path is through God. Because with God, you can achieve anything. And I feel like God is the UFOs and the motherships and all that good stuff that a lot of these people who have experienced these things talk about in jargon. They talk about it in subliminal messages because they can't really say, because the people who do have the voices be those millionaires, and some of those millionaires do know that they be having those experiences with things, but they can't talk about it because they'll be exposing us to it and putting us up on game and teaching us how to activate our powers. And they don't want that. But I'm going to teach you how to activate your powers, and that is through God. Bottom line.